Hello and welcome to you all. So in this video we are going to see one of the useful functionality from upcoming version of Odoo19 accounting module. So today I am demonstrate how you can handle your partial detectability of your vendor bill in Odoo accounting itself. So let's say an example. For an example, if two persons who are working in a stock market, or we can say the stock broker, they are working on a single workplace. So they are divided their rent into 50 percentage of amount, and as they have the speculative business income, so they can able to register their expenses, the rent expense, into their expense register. So how it will be registered? So they have to manually calculate the rent, the portions, the individual portions for their side they have to manually calculate, and then the portions of renting expense they can able to register into the expense. So same as renting, they have like a internet bill, they have a mobile expense, they have a water, they have a electricity bill as well. So all of those expense they can able to calculate manually and they have to register into the expense. But with Odoo19 they can able to use the functionality, the partial detectability of vendor bills, and they can register the amount of those portions in the Odoo. Or let's say a good example, second good example would be a self-employed person who is working at home. So as he is working at home, he can able to recognize some of the portions of their electricity bill, their home electricity bill, into their professional expense as well, because the major portions of their electricity bill is for their private expense, but he can able to recognize some of the portions of their electricity bill into their professional expense as well. So how we can manage this scenario into Odoo without manual calculations through only the configuration in Odoo version 19. So let's see that. So currently I am on my Odoo version 19 database. So let's jump to the accounting module, and in configurations I am jumping on general. So I'm opening the purchase general. So on purchase type of the general, now Odoo has introduced one private part account. So here we can park our private portion amount of expenses in the account. So let me just select my private expense. This is my expense account of private. I just add and just save the record. So my business professional expense, which I'm registered on my expense account, where my private portions of my expense I can register in my private expense account. So let's jump to vendor. So I'm creating one vendor bill to register my electricity bill. So I'm selecting my electricity provider. So let's just select my electricity provider, and I'm adding one electricity bill. So this is my overall electricity bill, and I'm just selecting my expense account. So this is my professional business expense account, and let's say I'm adding $1,000 of my electricity bill. I can register the tax as well. Let's say 50% of tax applied. Now in Odoo19 we can see one new field introduced, professional expense. We can click on the options and we can see that. So professional percentage. So this is the field where we can configure our professional expense, the partial portions which we can recognize as our business expense from this overall expense. So let's say from 1,000 of my electricity bill, my professional income just use only a 20%. So I'll just configure 20 and I'm saving the record. So once I save the record, I can see on 1,000 of my electricity bill, 50% tax applied. So overall I have a 1150, which is the correct one. But if I jump to general item, I can able to see Odoo bifurcate my expense with my private expense. So 1000 of my expense, which is my electricity bill expense, Odoo create one counterpart entry which is 800. So I use only 20%, which is a $200. So from 1000 it will detect my 800, which is on a credit side. So overall I have only 200 of my expense for my electricity bill, professional expense, where the remaining 800, which is 80% of my 1000, so 800 will be parked on my private expense account, and based on that we select here the 50% of tax. So over that Odoo register the private tax as well based on the amount we have bifurcated, and now we have a total 50% of tax we have to pay only $30. So $30 will be applied on the remaining 20%, which is a 200. So 50% of my 200 expense, which is a $30. So I have to pay only the $30 of my tax one. So let's just confirm this one, and now we just jump to the reporting and annual statement report. So in Odoo version 19, Odoo has introduced these annual statement report where we can see balance sheet, profit loss and trial balance report in a single screen. So let's jump to the balance sheet. So on the balance sheet we can see on the current assets we have a 30. On the payable side we have to pay 1150. So the overall balance sheet is okay, but if I'm jumping to profit and loss report, I can able to see my expense account, which is only registered $200, and my private expense, which registered 920, which is 800 plus including the taxes, so total 920. If I can click on it, we can see 800 of my private part, and overhead we have the taxes of 120. And if I can jump to trial balance, I can see my total expense, which is a 200, and my tax paid, which is a 30. So now let's jump to the tax report as well. So on a tax report we can see on a 200 of my net purchase, I am just liable to pay only the $30 of my taxes. So likewise you can use this functionality to bifurcate, or we can say to deductible your professional expense with your overall expense. So I hope guys you like these features, and if you like this video then please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.